Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Joe Misfit Glenn here with Don the Diver Hudson.
That's me.
Welcome to the show, folks. All right. We got one person in just yet. We'll wait, give it a little bit of time.
One.
Okay, let me try to say this word. I know how to pronounce his name. It's Josue, right? I know it. Josue Garcia. Just look at the name. You see it? How he's got that little thing? I talked to him and he told me how to pronounce it. So hope I got that right.
I can't even pronounce my name half the time.
I know, right?
You're wide open there, brother.
I literally had to think about that for a minute. I knew I got that. Yep.
Nope.
But yeah, we're just gonna wait for. Oh, okay, we got a few visitors now. Okay, Facebook user. Hey there, guys. Somebody didn't give permission to StreamYard. Hey, when you guys get into the live, like on the Facebook page, just scroll down a little bit, and StreamYard asks for your permission to use their name. That's why you're still saying Facebook user. Cool. What's up, John Senior, Stanley Senior? Welcome.
Hi.
Hey, give me your name, Facebook user, so I can at least use that, huh? Instead of you going or messing around out there.
Dane just yelled at me. He's almost to Pennsylvania, so he's driving, so he probably won't be able to come on.
Okay. Well, I hate driving like that, man. But Charlie says, "Hey, Don."
What's up, Charlie? How you doing, man?
All right, so that's Scott, Facebook user. All right, I'll try to remember that, bub.
Scotty.
Okay.
Oh, Scotty.
Let's get into this, Don. All right, guys. So tonight's talk is going to be about the families of cannabis. Yes, that's what I said. The families, okay? So just an initial bit of information. Sativa, indica, ruderalis. Most of you don't know about ruderalis, and we'll get into it a little bit, okay? That's the families of cannabis. Hey, now, Don, can you give me a little bit? I know that you've been around sativas more. I'm not a sativa guy. Talk to me about that history. Why is it sativa? What you know?
And just because we caught flack last time about being too intense, I'm going to read this and then we'll move on. But I want this. There's so many different things out there about sativa, indica, and y'all like to say ruderalis. So I'm going to read this out of a textbook, and then we'll move on. The term sativa refers to a plant that is widely cultivated and a domestic crop. It often is correlated with a plant that promotes good health and wealth. Indica came from when the famous French naturalist Jean-Baptiste Lamarck categorized a new species of cannabis in 1785. He named it Cannabis indica because the plant specimens were collected from India. Finally, ruderalis also get its name from where it was found in nature. A ruderail plant is one that colonizes recently turbed land. Yeah, ruderalis first identified along the Volga River in southern Siberia in 1924. So there you go. There's indica, sativa, and ruderalis. And me and Joe talked about this earlier. And unless you've been around a pretty long time, I would argue with a lot of people that you have never really had sativa and indica, because they started crossing that crap a lot of years ago, and the stuff we get now, they can tell you whatever they want. Most of it's hybrid. You might get a land race. You could get a land race. I ain't saying you can't, but just about everything out there nowadays is hybrid. It's high indica or high sativa, and and then the ruderalis. If you're growing autos, there you go. So take it from there.
I guess technically, even the say the 100%, right? You could buy seeds that say 100% sativa or indica. Now those were bred with other 100%, right? But they still have a hybrid, value to them. They're not pure. They're not pure.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying. I mean, a long time ago, we didn't have the stuff that you guys have got now. People cross-pollinated shit, but I mean, it's serious stuff now.
Sure.
And back then, you had the original strains, and that was just it. And like, I'm not saying nobody. I'm not saying nothing bad about nothing. I'm just saying, it's moved on, or it's like gasoline, ethyl, regular. Now we got unleaded. It just progresses.
It evolves. Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Hey, real quick shout out. Dane made it. So what's up, Dane?
Hey,
TJ said, "What's up, brothers? What's up, TJ?" And Scott now fixed his name. So TJ Boyce, Aaron Proctor, guys, welcome. Glad to see you. Okay.
Yeah.
So now that you guys got the idea of the families, it's about where they were found and they were named there. Okay. That is the difference. All right. Now we all know sativas give you energy, or that's what everybody says. And then indicas make you a little tired and relax you a little bit, and they all help their different things. Now, the ruderalis. This is one of the first things I looked up when I was starting growing. Don't ask me why. It just was the first thing that popped up, because I knew that was the autoflower thing, right? That was what when a plant just chooses its own time to flower, regardless of how much sun it gets, how many hours of sun. That fascinated me because I had never heard of a plant that did this. And so I started looking into it. Now, the ruderalis is mostly CBD and very little THC. And that's why you guys usually don't know about it, because everybody wants THC. But the CBD portion is the medicine, right? All those things are the medicine that's going to help our body. And you know what? Honestly, Don, I need to get into this because, guys, you guys need to know, me and Don, we grow for medicine, all right? We grow to help our bodies. We grow to take care of anxieties and pains and tensions and headaches and all kinds of stuff, right? That is our goal. That's why we're teaching you this kind of stuff, to do your own medicine. Now, if you want to use this to go party on Friday, by all means, you can do that, but that's not my mission. My mission is to teach you a pure way, very simple way of growing medicine. After you get good at that, go figure out all the other bullshit and see if it fits your life. Cool? You agree with that, Don?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's and we talk all the time, but that's why I grow so many different strains. Mm-hmm. I know the people that I take care of, my patients, I call them. Mm-hmm. I know what works for them, because over the years I've tried different strains. So mm-hmm. I keep this. I know what works. I fight to find those seeds and them. But now not every day, but very often I get new patients. Mm-hmm. So I'm steady trying new things, and that's why I'm doing the pink kush and the blueberry right now. That pink kush, according to everybody, that is one of the best CBDs out there right now.
I've heard that.
So I'm going to grow that, and I'm going to mix that with several different. I'm going to blend it. I'm not I'm blending them, because I know supposedly that CBD is badass, so I can try it with different things.
Sure.
And see how that works. Now, because of how you and I have talked, we may have a way to start growing real rooter rails. Now, if we can do that, I will take those rooter rails, then I will mix them with what I like, because I'm a big fan of, like, Granddaddy Purple.
Yeah.
I'm not selling nothing for nobody. These are what I grow, and I know what works. They're heavy mm-hmm. indica, or even straight Afghan. If I had rooter rails, the rooter rails, I could mix them.
Yeah.
I mean, and I blend them, and then I'd have even deeper and deeper, the big fuzzy feeling my guys want, not the psychotic side that a lot of people want.
Yeah, better effects, man, for sure.
Yeah, but that's what I do. I mean, that's why, and I don't keep. I mean, I grow the stuff that works for my guys. Mm-hmm. So I mean, and I'm a big fan of growing a few things at a time, so I can test it with them. So, but that's just how I do it.
Cool.
I'm constantly looking for more.
Blending several strains together to get, an overall effect. People have been doing it for a long time. I know I have, but I never necessarily put a name to it. Blending sounds great. Yeah. I think that's a good word for it, huh?
Well, that's what that's what the big tobacco companies, the cigar makers, and I mean, when you get blended tobacco, when you get like Captain Black or Cherry or whatever, that's blended. So I figure, and I asked around, I'd never heard of it before, but it made sense. I can't pollinate and shit like you guys can. I'm not that good, but it makes sense if this strain makes me feel like this, and this one makes me feel like this, and I put them both together. You know,
Right.
it's like a Boilermaker, a beer and a shot. Hell, that works very well. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
indica and something else.
Hell yeah. Okay, so I think we got the family thing under control. Everybody
Yeah.
understands that we try to focus on medicine. And so now that we said that, all right, the next step. Let's talk about some seeds, Don. Okay, because
Okay.
all right,
But just because of what we were talking about, making medicine and finding out what works. To accomplish that, you're going to have a seed bank. Okay.
mm-hmm.
To have a seed bank, go ahead. Now we're into seeds. You've got a seed bank. How you storing them? Where you storing them? How long you storing them? What they good for?
Right.
Go that way, and then we'll get on to the genetics later on.
Okay, and so storage for seeds. I know not everybody stores them correctly. I don't necessarily store mine correctly. I go through them pretty quickly. So, with that being said, the way you should store your beans, okay? And I wrote this stuff down just so I didn't mess this up. First off, very low humidity, right? Key, right? 35 to 40 degrees is what they suggested that you keep it in for temperature. So I guess that'd be like a refrigerator. I think my fridge goes to 40, and or like my outdoor one in my grow keeps it at 40. So 35 to 40 degrees, low humidity, and dark in a sealable container, hopefully to keep them all nice and just safe, right? That matters for long-term storage, I believe, right? Okay, yeah. So if you want to get 2 years, 10, I think up to 10 years you can do with this, if it's proper. Like, I mean, any little thing, if you got too much humidity or it got too warm, you could have a little bit of trouble.
But it's like everything, though. I mean, if you've been gardening for any amount of time, the fresher the seed, the better you are. So everybody, there's all these collections out there. Well, those collections became collections because they've been around. That being said, they're sitting somewhere. A lot of people spend a lot of money on them.
Yeah,
you might get one seed that it actually works. So, I mean, you do what you got to do. But if you're growing for medicine, use those damn seeds. Just use them.
Use them.
If you
okay, so we're using them. That little bit of a storage thing we touched on. I'm sure everybody has their own little techniques, but guys, don't be afraid of Google. All right. I mean, I'll answer every question you send at me, but if you want to get on there, if it's late or whatever, just Google how to do it. They'll explain it in such great detail, well, above and beyond what me and Don just did. But it'll be the same outcome, I promise. But okay, and so let's also talk about feminized seeds and regular seeds. Okay, there's two different types of seeds that we can get. Everybody's down with this feminized stuff because there's a very low possibility of getting a male.
Stress that.
It's not impossible.
Thank you.
Okay, It is not impossible to get a male. So don't be surprised if you do happen to get one eventually. It hasn't happened to me yet, but I know people that it has happened to. Also, the reg seeds, okay? That's just a female plant that got pollinated by a male plant, created its seeds, and you have probably a 50-50 chance of getting a male or a female. So that's the going thing with regular seeds. But regular seeds are cheaper, if I'm not mistaken. Regular seeds are generally cheaper than feminized seeds because there's a process to go through that with the feminized seeds. I intend to do a video eventually because I'm going to be feminizing a plant for pollination. We don't need to get into that yet. Okay, so fem seeds, reg seeds. Reg seeds, you can find males. Fem seeds, very unlikely, but not impossible. Cool?
Wait a minute. Are you done with that one? I got a follow-up for you.
Go for it. Yeah, get it.
I don't tell nobody they're wrong, but I think maybe you may be slightly off. Feminized seeds and regular seeds cost the same to buy. However, that brings up a whole new subject. I don't know if you're ready to go there. You ready to go there with how much they cost? You can get all the seeds you want, and God bless you if you want to grow them. That's your business. Like I said, I do mine I help make medicine out of mine, so I need to know what I'm doing. You can, and no disrespect, right? I'm telling you, no disrespect to anybody or any grower or anything. None. I ride a Harley. Some people ride Hondas. This is what I'm trying to show you. If you want to buy a seed, fine. I've got to know, because of what I do and the people I supply, and because the chance I take doing it, I've got to know when I put a seed in it's going to work. It's going to pop. It's going to be gone. You get what you pay for. That being said, Joe, now if I'm lying, you stop me. This morning, the first time we talked, I don't know, whatever time it was, I told you I've got seeds that just popped, didn't I?
Yeah.
This afternoon, when we got ready for this video, those seeds had tails, and I put them in dirt. Yeah. That's all within 24 hours. Now, that's the difference between genetics. I mean, I've got some that takes a week, 2 weeks for them to pop.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that with stuff I'm trying, but for the guys I got to make medicine for, I've got to know. And like I said, I know that people I get the genetics from. These were that new cross, Mothman, Star Fox.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bam! First time I knew the genetics I was going to get. First time I ever tried to grow them, and I'm looking at them right now. And probably tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, they'll be out of the dirt already.
Sure.
Sitting right next to them is a F1 genetics, that Granddaddy Purple crossed with Clark.
Yeah.
7 days old today. These are the ones I've been telling you about. They're all regs. Mm-hmm. And I guess 3 of them are 3 inches tall and one of them is 1 inch tall and full of leaves. That's 7 days. 7 days from when I touched that seed.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not putting nobody down. I'm just saying that's the difference. If you've got time and you can afford to try to grow 5 or 10 seeds, if they work or not, that's your business. Yeah, I got to know. So, you, like I said, you can buy a brand new Ferrari, or you can get Honda Civic with a turbocharger. It's just, you get what you pay for, and if you're having fun, God bless you. But when you find what you want, you're going to want it, and you're not going to want to. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm not disrespecting nobody. I just
for me, I mean, I started out with bag seed stuff. Just I don't even know what they were, but I grew them and I had fun doing it but I started realizing that as I bought seeds, that everything happened faster and better and more healthy. And so I started to realize that, okay, not all beans are the same, first off and foremost. And now you don't always have to pay top dollar for great genetics,
No. Well, that's one of our advantages. That's one of our advantages. We've got some top shelf breeders that take care of us, but we've got a real good breeder that is a friend to everybody, and that's Caleb. That son of a gun has got some great genetics. He's a fantastic person to deal with, and that's one of the things we're blessed with people like him. Because I mean, I've got to do what I got to do for my people, but Caleb, he's got great genetics. And it's all his stuff's affordable. Yeah. It's very, and I'm telling you what, if you grow something of his or try something of his and it don't pop, he's right there. And that's the same people I deal with. If their shit don't pop, they're there. But Caleb, he makes it affordable. I mean, and he's got some great genetics. I can't say enough about that young man. He's a super guy, and he knows.
He's pretty solid.
Yeah, but there's a lot, and no disrespect. And I'm not disrespecting, but like you said, we used to grow the seeds that came out of brickweed. Most people don't even know what the hell brickweed is anymore. Right. But now there's so many. Everybody's growing seeds in their backyard, and they want to be. They're in business, and fine. Have a nice day. I can't wait on you, brother. I gotta go. That's what I'm saying. There's some fantastic people, and I'm sure some people watching are going to make their own seeds, and that's wonderful. And if there's just differences. So don't get upset about things not working.
Sure. It happens. And we were going to get to that too, guys. Okay, let's stick to the right now. Genetics matter. Okay. If you find a seed in a drawer, don't know what it is, good luck. You're more than likely going to be disappointed. You go buy yourself a quality seed, right? Nice and healthy, preferably fresh, I would assume. You're going to have a lot better luck. But people, don't be upset if your seed dies, if your plant dies.
Oh, no.
I call it a failure, okay? Look, man, this is part of growing. Please do not get upset if your plant isn't doing right. It may not be you at all right? Or maybe it was you and now you learned what not to do. But losing plants is part of growing. I had a hard time with that in the beginning because how could I fail, right? Well, I failed so many times. It's the only way I learned. Now here I'm telling you about all the failures that I've had and what I learned from them. And I'm sure Don has talked to you about some things that he learned through a failure or two.
And that's what I mean. I mean, I don't act. All I do is tell you what I can do. And people actually ask me questions, but let me tell you what, this is what, June something? I've killed 26 friggin' seeds since January 1st. I'm not lying to you. And these are some not so expensive, some real expensive, but I killed them. I screwed up. It's my fault. I mean, I went from my inside grow to outside, and every year I do it, and it screws me up. But so if you kill us, that's why I mean, you had this discussion earlier, Joe. I like to grow 4 seeds at a time. That way I've got a chance to get 4, and I can grow them in different ways and stuff.
Right.
Because when I first started growing inside like I do now, I take a seed, I germinate it, I put it in the dirt, and I watch it, you know. So, and it'd die. Finally, I said, heck, put some seeds out there. One of those damn things is going to work, and that's it. But don't get disappointed. It's what I had that one what was it? Purple Kush or whatever, that pink Kush. That son of a gun, it was beautiful. It went all the way through veg and it started to flower, and the son of a bitch grew nuts, you know? Yeah. But what do you chop it off, throw it out before it's condemned? There's nothing you can do. I mean, I had 5 or 6 months in that damn plant. Oh well, start again. So don't get upset if you kill one. Hell.
it's gonna happen. You know, it's gonna happen a lot.
Unfortunately. You're going to learn so much from it, really. I learned. That's why I'm so stupid, because I kill everything, man.
All right, let me get into the people over. Hey guys, you got any questions on what we've been talking about so far? Send them.
They're like, tell that fat dude shut up.
Hey, what's up, Nikki?
Hey,
Nikki
Nick.
says, what's up?
Hi, Nick.
Aaron Proctor. Yeah, so no questions. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. Let's get into soaking seeds before planting them. Don, I want you to go ahead and lead. I like your skill set.
Going into soaking, you're gonna look at that seed. Every seed looks different, but this is one of the seeds I just popped today. I popped a lot of seeds in the last couple of weeks. These new ones I just popped were beautiful. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. The sheen on them and the color were just gorgeous. They were just beautiful seeds. Well, you don't want to look at them too long. So, Joe, that's his name. He showed you guys on one of his videos how to scuff. And I'm a firm believer. I don't get fancy. I rolled up. I got a small piece of emery paper. Ta-da!
Nice.
You can use it for other things. But I just dropped the seeds in there, and I can walk around the house doing this. Not bam, 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 bam.
Heck
yeah. And then after a while, I mean, you don't do it for an hour and a half because you won't have a seed left. But just, I don't know, a minute or two. And then I know this is where you're going with this. Then I take water, and you can use pH. I don't care. I use water. I open the tap. I put water in a shot glass, and then I take an eyedropper and I put 3 drops of hydrogen peroxide. Right, 3 drops. That's it. And I put my seeds in there, and I covered it with a piece of plastic, and just set it on the table or somewhere. And as I walk through the day, I'll see if they sink. If they're not sinking, I'll poke them once in a while. And usually, I guess about 8 hours. The stuff that I'm using anyway, just be a little bit. It's a tiny little where that seed's opening, which I should have said something first. That seed has got 2 sides to it. One side's got a hinge on it, and the other side opens up. So whatever you do, you want the root's going to come out of that side that opens up. So if you're not doing what I'm doing, you just put them right in the soil. Joe's going to add something to this later, but put the seed in so the root's coming out of it. Okay. And if you get your a little tail, and a lot of people sweat those tails, you should, they will break right off for you. But if you're going to do it that way, I use tweezers. I open a hole up real big, and let's set that puppy in there, and just real easy with a pair of tweezers, cover it over a little bit, and you're done. And in the morning or the morning after, you'll have a plant.
Right.
But Joe's gonna tell you about putting that seed root down, ain't you, Joe?
I am. Okay, and so for me, my technique, I can't go the route he does with the little tails. I will mess it up every time. I've messed them up one after another and decided I'll never do it again because I'm stubborn like that. And so what I do is I soak my seed just like Don was telling you. And then when it sinks, of course, 12, 24 hours, I usually leave mine in there 24 hours. I don't even mess with it. I just leave it alone. And then, so after that, I just set my seed in there. Okay. Now, like Don said, it has sides. You'll see a little ridge that grow. I mean, it's ever so light, just basically a point all around the sides. I lay my seed flat, not on its edge, not everything like that. For me, when that pops out the bottom or the sides, it just automatically directs itself down. Now, disclaimer, I have had a seed by doing this, put the root above the dirt and the leaf in the ground. And I pulled the whole thing up, brushed it off, turned it over, and it grew. But I didn't need to have that happen to me. I stressed that plant out really big as a very young thing. So Don's method is way more accurate as far as making sure the seed's viable. That's a big one. And then it's going to sprout with the root going down without fail. So Don's method is probably the preferred. I can't do it because I shake too much and I'll break everything.
That also being said, I had just because you're buying from somebody, if you're buying from seeds from somebody that's selling a big name, like I bought Ethos. I like Ethos. I've always heard about them. So I got some in Canacon. I tried them. I bought them not from Ethos. I bought them from a distributor, and none of them popped. So I got a hold of Ethos, explained it to them, and they were nice about it. They sent me more. But just because if you buy something from a distributor, be careful. If you're going to spend a lot of money on good seeds, buy them from the breeder.
Good breeders, yeah.
You might have to work a little bit to get to them, but if you're going to invest a chunk of change, you want to know you're getting that, because there's people out there that will say, yeah, that's what you got, and it's not. So just, if you're going to spend the extra dollar, if you're going to go the extra mile for the good shit, make sure you're getting the good shit.
Right. Now, Don, Charlie had a question about the peroxide. Can you give us a little bit of background as to why we would put peroxide in there?
Personally, me, I guess it's the way I germinate or whatever. A lot of times, when my seeds are getting ready, they'll grow mold. They grow mold, and the peroxide, once the peroxide gets on there, it just stops it. And I feel like when you put that seed in dirt or wherever you're going to put it, whatever's in there, whatever little ghoulies are in there, that peroxide kind of wards off a little bit. But all you're doing is just it's mainly used for stopping mold. You don't want, because you're germinating over moisture, over a heat pad, and it breeds mold. And the peroxide helps get rid of that. So that's
sterility. So it makes everything sterile, a sterile environment for a healthy plant.
But you don't. Now, I said something to you. You don't want to put too much peroxide in there, because if you put too much peroxide in there, then it kills the good stuff.
Okay.
And you don't want to do that. Like I put 3 drops in a shot glass. I don't know how many ounces that is or nothing. I put 3 drops in a shot glass, and that's how I've always done it. That's what works for me.
And so I got some numbers because, for a seed, a shot glass is all. So that's a great ratio. And that's why I wanted you to say that.
Yeah.
For a bigger ratio, just in case you guys didn't want to, go off that, it's 30 milliliters for 2 cups of water. That's it. 30 milliliters for 2 cups of water. Or 1 ounce of 3%. That's also key. 3% peroxide.
Yeah.
1 ounce of 3% food grade peroxide to 1 pint of water. Google, folks, if you need to get onto that when you're about to get after it, be sure about your amounts. Okay.
Well, do yourself a favor too, because everybody's seen it. Everybody's done it. Oh man, I got so high, I forgot. Once you use that water, I suggest you get rid of it. Because if you accidentally put that in your sprayer or you water with it, ta-da! So don't take a chance. Unless you're a big grower and you're going to use a lot of it, I would do it by the shot glass, because if you've got that over there in a mason jar and you're stoned one day, and you know what can happen, and don't tell me it does. We don't get stoned because we all do. And I'm just giving you a heads up. It will.
Yep.
You'll be going, damn, that little fat bastard told me not to do that. You know.
Yeah, it's a good disclaimer, you know, because I've been that, you know, I've been high and just totally forgot about something, left something on, you know, messed up. Sure, you know, it's all part of it, I guess, but gotta be careful with that.
I can do a lot of stupid stuff, so I'll tell you so you won't do it.
yeah. I mean, that's what I was good at too, just doing all the bad stuff. But all right, let me see what else we got. So we talked about soaking. Yeah, 12 to 24 hours is a good idea as far as soaking. And old Don's is coming out at nine hours now, right? Didn't you soak for like 9 hours and they tailed out?
That was it. But
that's awesome.
Like I said, that's just genetics. I'm an asshole. Most of y'all don't like me anyway, but I'm going to tell you, I'm spoiled. I took the time and diligence to find out how the good ones. So, I mean, a lot of people I've read and watched, well, give it 14 days, but don't open it 14 days. Let me tell you what, if I spend 24 hours and I ain't got a seed popping, I'll flush it and I will never grow that strain again. And now I know it sounds like I'm a jerk, but that's just the way it is. I'm not gonna waste a day, let alone 6 months on something that ain't gonna turn out.
Right.
I've got the luxury of that. I made it that way. I've tried the shit. So, I mean, I grow testers for a lot of people, and I tell them that what I just said, and they're like, "Real?" I say, "Hey, I'll grow them if you want, but if they don't pop, why waste my time, man? You know." Right. That's why, like I said, like Caleb and you know who I'm talking, the good breeders.
Yep.
Get them. I mean, that's just my opinion. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, no, for me, I don't necessarily give up on them after 24 hours. I don't know, man. I'm real patient with them. I have so many others to play with that one seed doing whatever it needs to be doing doesn't bother me. And so, but, you know, I also have 20 different strains going, you know, or whatever at a time. And they're all doing their own different little thing. And I have to be one-on-one touching them. So I ain't got time to fuck with that.
And like I said, you can do it and I can do the way but I know a little sister we got out there right now is growing one plant in a little bitty tent. That's all the room she's got. Well, God bless you. You know, you don't have the time for all that shit. You've got that seed, you're nerd. And the way I understand it, she's doing a great job. So that's friggin' fantastic. You ain't got to do all this wild crap. That little girl is doing this and just everybody's helping her. I mean, Caleb's helping her a lot, you know, David. But if she can do it, I tell you what, don't. And there's somebody else that I was talking to us and everybody, and I understand it's scary when you first start, but it's this easy. You get yourself a seed and do one of the ways me and Joe just said. I don't care, get a damn red solo cup, put some dirt in it, put it in the window, and you'll grow fucking dope.
Yep.
It's that easy, sports fans. Yep. I mean, you'll work yourself up. You'll work yourself up to all these fancy lights and meters and fans and all that crap. It's dirt, seed, water, sunshine. Have a nice day. I'm getting high. You know, that's freaking easy.
Now, if you have to go into a professional grow and you're going to be a professional grower and have a business, you're going to need all that shit. But you don't need it. I mean, come on, guys. They used to grow this in a closet underneath a 60-watt light bulb. That old stuff, right? They literally did this. Matter of fact, when my son was 17, I caught him doing one in his closet. And that's what started me in cannabis right there. I took that plant and I couldn't throw it away. So I grew it. And I killed it.
Everybody on this site was in the military, the way I understand it.
Yes.
So y'all, from the day you went in, you remember KISS. We all got taught KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And that's it. You can make it. Now, don't get me wrong. Like some of the guys out there, I mean, you can take the same two seeds and make one a super batch. You can grow dope, or you can grow dope. But either way, you're doing the same thing. One time, as you move along, you'll learn the tricks to increase this and that and everything. But hey, this stuff. If I can do it, y'all got this.
I think the bottom line is if you get to know a cannabis plant, which I intend to do an anatomy class on the plant. If you get to know what the plant does and why it does what it does, you're gonna use common sense to figure little things out. You know, you don't always have to do the big stuff. You don't always have to do the easiest stuff. It's just there for you to pick and choose. That's the beauty of cannabis. Pick and choose. See what works for you.
You put it in words better than I do. You know how you and I talk about our plants, and how stress how much time we're idiots. We spend just paying attention and.
Well, for me, I mean, it's an all-day affair. All day. Like, I mean, I can get a couple hours to sit down if I'm just being lazy or whatever, but I could literally do something with an individual plant all day because I have so many of them. But that's what keeps me busy. Remember, I'm retired. And so for us, I mean, I know it sounds weird, but I literally have a personal relationship with every plant. I know I can see from across the room if something ain't right with a plant, and, you know, I'll come in there and see it. Everybody thinks I'm weird for it, but I know what they look like, and I know when they don't look the way they should. It's because I spend so much time with them. It just is. I can't say it any other way. I just spend all day with my shit until the lights off.
That's where I grow inside and outside, and I show my plants outside from a distance when I take pictures of them, because it's so interesting. If you saw my plants up close outside, people would be just, oh my God, the tip of that leaf and the bug ate it there, and this looks. It's outside, guys.
It is.
On my inside grows. I mean, I look at the plants, and then I get online and people just stress so much about little things. If you look at that plant, it's going to tell you when it needs light, when it doesn't need light, when it needs water, when you got too much. That plant is going to tell you everything. Yep. And you get all the meters in the world, and it's so easy. That plant will talk to you if you listen. I mean, just because you get a white spot or a yellow spot or a tip that looks weird, you know, give it a minute. If there's something wrong with that plant, most of the time it's going to start at the bottom and work its way up. If it starts at the top and works its way down, it's not a growing problem. You've got something interfering outside. Yeah. So just watch a leaf, and if Scotty, if you're still on there, I still thank you so much. If Scotty explained something to me, I had a bad locked up plant. It was just so locked up, it wouldn't do nothing. And Scotty, we talked about it, and I figured out a trick. And that son of a gun, it harvested 12 ounces. So I mean, thank you, Scotty.
Nice.
But we all knew what was wrong with that plant, but we didn't understand how it got that way. Well, I was using a different soil, and there wasn't enough perlite, or anyway, I went to cocoa anyway. But it had made a dam like a brick. So I was watering, it wasn't getting nothing. So then I took a bamboo rod and I started poking holes. And anyway, I learned my lesson. And thank you very much, Scotty. But I bet you, I was on lives, and there were 5 or 6 people where everybody was saying the same thing, you know. And then Scotty came up with a damn thing it ain't getting into it. And I'll be darned. So those plants will tell you. I mean, they'll tell you. And if you've got a problem, don't be embarrassed to ask. Get on one of the lives. There's a whole lot of information out. You might like some of it. Go to somebody else. But there's a lot of information out there. Don't ask Scotty how to comb your hair, because he don't know how. But he can grow some dope. I guarantee you that.
All right. You know what? Since you were talking about that hydrophobic soil, I ran into this while I was in my pro grow, and I had 20 plants that all of a sudden did not want to do anything right, and they wouldn't take water. I was using fabric pots, by the way. Yep. And this is when I switched, and I'll tell you the reason why. So anyway, the root ball had dried out too fast for too long. The plant was still looking like it didn't need water, but the root ball dried out too much. Yeah. So the way I fixed it was I took my 5-gallon bucket or a 5-gallon fabric pot, and I put it in a big bucket that would fill, and then I filled that thing up with water and watered it and let it soak for like 20 minutes, each one of my plants, and it filled up, and it fixed the issue. And so I realized that I had to water more often, but not as much. So not as much water, more often, will keep you away from that hydrophobic soil.
But and I understand what you're saying, but you really can't do that, because you know as well as me, as you go into from veg into flower, and as you progress to flower, you're going to suck more water. I mean, you can't. I mean,
Well, I'm talking about it in the initial time when you have when you figured out you have hydrophobic soil. You soak it. Don't forget to re-amend, and then after that, then you'll adjust your stuff back up. But I believe it was because I went too far in between waterings, and so how I fixed that was I watered less every day instead of every 2 days. That's all.
And that right there, I want to discuss this some other time. But what you just said is what sells me on these bases that I use under my bags. Mm-hmm. Never, at no time ever will that plant, because the roots are going to go to water.
Right.
So that plant goes down, and I mean it. And as long as you keep water in that base, that plant will never dry out. Now you're going to have to we'll talk about it another time. But that's why what you just said is why I swear by those pots. It keeps it moist no matter what. Anyway, that's another time.
Yep. And so, like I said, and so I ended up going to my plastic pots. I still use my fabric pots, usually in the 1 gallons, after my clones and stuff. That way they don't get root bound in that 1 gallon, because they air prune. And so I don't have all that droopy leaves when they get root bound before I transplant. But anyway, that was my little how I fixed it at the time.
That brings up a pretty good discussion that I didn't plan. I didn't think it was going to go this way because we're talking about seeds, but we've got there.
Yeah.
What are you going to put that seed in? I mean, everybody's got an opinion about this, that, and I'm talking about soil now. I'm not talking about what do you call it, water growing, whatever that stuff is.
Right.
That stuff. Well, I'm talking about soil. So talk about soil.
Okay. I am not a big soil guy. I don't know everything about it. I'll tell you what I do though. I don't go amending. I don't go putting cocoa in this with this. I use ocean forest. That's it. Ocean forest. Now, my outdoor ones, I did put some compost and manure in with the ocean forest and mixed it all up. And that's what I planted my plants in. They're doing awesome. I just don't do that with my indoor stuff. I just use the plain soil.
All you do is take ocean forest out of a bag, put it in a pot, and that's you.
That's me.
Wow, that's cool. I'm just wondering. I know there's a lot of people out there, the living soils and this soil, and you don't want to use this and that. And I've tried. I started with Miracle Grow. I mean, I started with the shit from Lowe's, and burned a lot of shit up with it. But you'll figure out it, like you said, you use ocean forest. Well, I did a lot of research and I asked a zillion people, and what it came down to was 50% of them used ocean forest. Mm-hmm. And then, there's a lot of people out there playing with Happy Frog too, but I burned a lot of shit up with that. Yeah. But 50% of them used Cocoa Loco because they like the cocoa. So I said, here, I get a bag of each. I mix them in my wheelbarrow, and then I put my other neat stuff in it. And that's what I couldn't. Nobody would tell me which is better, so I just figured I'll use both of them. They both cost about the same, and I got to use a lot of bags of it anyway.
I can tell you that I did a couple of studies when I switched to ocean forest because I was using Happy Frog, right? I switched to ocean forest because I just wasn't always happy with Happy Frog, right? No, the pun intended, I guess. So I switched to ocean forest and 707. I can't remember the rest of that. It just said 707 on it. I checked the soil pH, which to me it mattered. I checked it out of the bag. They were 6.2 and 6.3. That's perfect. I liked it. I didn't have to go, anyway. So I grew both side by side and didn't see really much of any difference. I can get the ocean forest more frequently than I get the 707. So that's what I stuck with. That was how I figured out what to stick with. Remember I was telling you that I went during my growing journey, I went in ways that I needed to at the moment. Soil was not that way. So I will get to soil and I will be a soil guru and I'll be able to tell you some other things maybe, but because I think you know most of it anyway, but I haven't got there yet. Didn't necessarily need to. I was too worried about pollinating.
Well, I didn't understand the hot soil when because I grew outside. I was a farmer. But I'm telling you what, that's like I said, people swear by Happy Frog, and God love them. That stuff is hot. A lot of people bitch about Miracle Grow. Happy Frog will catch you on fire. But
I've used Miracle Grow too, and had some of the tallest plants I ever did have, 12 footers.
And that's what's cool, because I'm pretty excited about the autos I grow. I mean, they're pretty nice, and I didn't get that until I switched to what I'm doing now. Now maybe I could drop the Ocean Forest and just use Coco Loco, or either way, but the weights I'm getting. I just can't change it. And that's what
you can't change that. Do not change that.
It might work for somebody else, might be different. I mean, I've always been interested in that living soil, but this works for me. And like I told you earlier today, everything I'm doing with my autos now, you know what the weight I got. If somebody can give me something that I can get a solid pound out of an auto, I'll switch. But until you can do that, you can't beat what I'm doing, man. You just, I fell on, I don't know what I did, but whatever I'm doing is producing. So if you can get me 4 or 5 more ounces, I'll try it. But otherwise, I can't.
That's the beauty of growing.
Yeah.
Right there. Literally, I might be able to take everything that you have, the whole setup here in Oklahoma. I ain't gonna get that shit. I can promise you. It's your setup. You dialed your setup in.
That was it.
And anyway, a Facebook user. Don is really close to getting a pound per auto. Yes, he is.
Yep. I'm not exaggerating. I posted
10.5 ounces on that last one. How many grams? I know you remember that number.
I do chop weights. The federal government, if you're going to grow farm, they want to know the chop weight. I got 1,420 grams out of the Ford auto by Gnome Automatics, buddy, and I'm so proud of it. I mean, now I did the Mothman, and I was upset because I only got right about 1,200 grams out of it. I mean, I'm not lying to you. I'm so freaking spoiled. They just blow up. Those genetics, you can't, and that's what I'm growing right next to me right now. I'm so excited. And everybody's like, no, yeah, I'm not lying to nobody.
If I didn't see the picture, I wouldn't have believed it either. I saw the pictures, man. Yeah, it was something else.
I don't believe it. And and like you said, though, it's my humidity, my barometric pressure, all everything where I live at comes together properly, and I can do that. Now, I feel so bad for those guys out in New Mexico and down there. My God, I don't know how you can grow anything. They grow sand down there, like Scotty. Scotty lives in a beautiful place, but oh my goodness.
Oh, Charlie too. Charlie's
the same way. Yeah. I couldn't do that, man.
Aaron said R. Lewis, I don't know who he is, pulled 13 ounces off one last year. Brother Mendel Genetics.
That's the second time this week somebody's brought Brother Mendel Genetics up to us.
They have it.
Last live we did, somebody brought that up, and I checked into them, and I'm scared. Well, not scared. I don't know anything about their strains, but they look amazing. And now whoever this is, somebody keeps bringing up those guys. So I mean, you know me, I'm gonna have to buy just to try the damn thing.
Right.
Somebody's really stoked about those guys, and hey, like I said, I push Gnome Automatics, I push F1, I push Sea Green, but if somebody's gonna say they got some good shit, I'm on. I'm on it, man. I'm serious. Yeah. Especially with that kind of weight. I'm telling you what, you ain't gonna be able to talk to me ever again. If I can get a solid pound off a damn automatic, I'm down the road, brother. I'm going somewhere.
Making moves.
I get excited about this stuff. I can't chase women no more, so I do this.
Aaron Proctor was the one that told you last time.
That's it. Yeah.
And that was Aaron that said that too. So yeah.
Yeah, that's who I was trying to tell you a while ago. I was trying to remember the fellow's name that I have a good conversation.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy talking with you. You got some stuff going on. Yeah. That Mendel's, buddy. You can bet your ass I'm going to grow that. Nah, I made a promise. And I took a picture and showed it to Joe today, and him and my wife both know these 4 that I just put in the dirt are the last 4 that I'm going to start till the end of the year. I'm gonna grow those 4 Granddaddy Purple Chlors, and I'm going to chop them right after Christmas. These autos will be done, in a few months. But I promised everybody I would not put nothing else in the dirt till after the 1st of the year. So January 1st, stand by. I'm going to get some of that Mendel stuff, and I'm growing this.
Hell yeah.
I've got to grow I've got to grow my stuff, but I'm going to try that shit. But
13 ounces. My God, you
I
barely
can't
get that out of a photo.
I can't imagine. I mean, like 10 ounces, 11 ounces, 13 ounces. If he can get 13 out of them, and no disrespect, but if somebody's getting 13, I'll get 16 out that Sunday.
Yeah,
It's a challenge.
That's my way too. That's the way I do it too, man.
I'm
gonna
figure out a
beat
way.
you. Yeah, challenge accepted.
I know most of the people on here are thinking, man, this is stupid. Get excited about this. I love growing this stuff, man. Like
Yeah,
that,
I do too.
I can't go to the strip joints. I don't go to the bars no more. I grow dope. This is a lot of fun.
Damn, that guy said it was in a two. Aaron said it was in a 2x4 tent, 5 gallon. Oh, wrong one. 5 gallon pot.
In a 5 gallon. See, I'm trying that this year. Inside, I'm going to run everything inside in 5 gallons instead of 10 gallons for my with my photos.
Hey, Aaron, I would love to see those pics, man. If you can dig them up.
Please. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, that's exciting, man. I can't imagine because that big one I did. I mean, you saw the colas were the size of my wrist. I can't imagine somebody with 13 ounces. Well, wait a minute. David grew that one. He's got pictures of back when he was in the day, and that was a beast. I don't
think I've seen that.
Oh my gosh! And I think he said that was a pound. But anyway, it was a monster. He's got pictures of it. If you're on here, David, bring those pictures out, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. But if this guy's getting 13 ounces, wow, man, that is one heavy son of. In a 5 gallon, he had to. I guess he had cranes holding that son of a bitch up. So, oh my goodness.
Right. Yeah.
Aaron, please get those pictures. I'm excited about it.
And he said if he gets them, he'll also get the strain name too.
Yeah. You know, cool. I've been fishing a long time, and you know how fishermen get. I got this bass, and I get that bass.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to what I'm saying. I'm like, damn, man, you're just excited about these damn growing shit as you do about catching bass.
Yeah.
Don't ever get this old, guys. Really, don't get
that old. He said. When said 113 days that plant went. Hey guys, you guys got any questions on what we've been talking about?
What you just said needs to be brought up.
What's that?
That man said that went 118 days. The ones I drove, those ones, big ones I did, went 108. That goes right back to that number shit. We were going to talk about that, remember?
That's right.
Yeah.
You talking about the full length of the grow?
Well,
and when people say, go ahead.
They look up on the internet and they're going to grow. Let's say they're going to grow this auto and it says 75 days.
Right.
Okay. That is just.
It's a reference.
That plant. I mean, and it is so important. If you don't do nothing else, you get yourself some way that you can look inside that bud. Not on the leaves on the outside. I don't care. You're not Superman. You can't see those trichomes like you got to see them. And you can get a jeweler's loop. That's fine. They don't cost a couple bucks. Or you can get one of those microscopes like Mean Joe used. But
like $35 on Amazon.
Yeah. If something says, until you know that strain, if they say 75 days, okay, at about 72 days, you start looking at those at your buds about every other day. Right. And you read them. And they're going to tell you, because I'm colorblind. So when I look in there, I see, you guys don't see what I see. But for the longest time, I thought I was seeing amber. It wasn't. I was cloudy with amber leaves behind it. So now, like I said, those big ones I grew 108 days, 110 days, whatever. But you can't go by a date. You can't put a seed in the ground and 75 days later chop it. It don't work that way. If you're going to do this, get in there. You got to see in there. I mean, there's apps on your phone. I know guys that use that phone app that don't cost you nothing, and they get by with it. I like getting in deeper myself, and I like reading all over the damn plant. But I'm sorry, you won't know that plant's done by looking at it. You've got to get in there and look at it. And
now, if you guys don't have a jeweler's loop or this thing right off the bat, I have used my iPhone, right? And I have zoomed in and got a clear picture, took the picture and then zoomed in on the picture. And I was able to get into the trichomes enough to give me an idea. But then after that, it was kind of a pain in the butt because once again, I'm all over the place and I couldn't get a clear picture. So I got myself that little $35 microscope But when, from seed to harvest, like for photos, they'll say you got 12-week flower, right? And that means in flower, whenever the hell you put it into flower on the 12 and 12, you got an estimated about 12 weeks before you need to worry about a harvest.
Yeah.
But it could be in 10 weeks. You got to be paying attention to that plant. You got to know if she's going to be getting her fade, her colors, dropping leaves, bud development. The pistils will be turning orange, but not always. It will. I'm harvesting one tomorrow that still has white pistils on it. It just keeps developing them. That's all. Yeah. And that's okay.
This one I've got finishing right now is that photo. It started on the 2nd of January, and I flipped it on 420. I won't show it to you because it's disgusting. It looks terrible. But 420, 2 more weeks, it should be 9 weeks in flower. Well, I'm pushing it now. It is so full and ready. It's done. I'm just pushing it to these. I don't have a little amber now. I'm amber. And I'm doing this for a reason, because this is California Dream. I grow 2 of these a year. Every year, it don't matter. And each time I grow one, I put it out a little farther to get. I don't care about the head buzz. I want the body buzz. And this stuff, it's an Afghan cross with something else. That's what makes it. And it's got a hell of a earth body buzz. So I'm going to see just how good it is. I can't. I'm not going to get 12 weeks. I'm not going to get 9 weeks in flower. It is, and I'm thinking now. You had one. You had that mama plant you had for years. I'm thinking because I kept this in veg so long, maybe that's why it's done. I mean, and it is
perhaps
it is done, but it is nasty looking. It is one of the saddest plants I've ever looked at. But there's just so much growth on there. There's all the buds are about the size of quarters. But there's a bazillion of them, I mean, if this thing had buds like those the gnome automatics I grew, it'd be huge. I mean, it'd be way over a pound. But anyway,
and that's what happened with that mother plant. Is the longer she went, the smaller her buds got. It was great. I mean, high potency weed.
Oh yeah, the intensity.
But it all went to hash. I just put it into hash,
and it was great. I'm gonna take the tops off this one. And I'm going to try that thing you told me about. I've never made hash, but I'd rather put it in the freezer and have it drying for the weeks and curing for weeks.
Right.
And there's so much rosin on this plant, on this strain. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. It really is. So
hell yeah,
I'm going to put them in the freezer and buck them off and do that. But like I said, don't worry about those dates. Those dates will put you in the ballpark. But that. And it all goes back to just paying attention to the plants. I know we sound like Martha Stewart, but the truth, it really is.
Just enjoy the ride. Don't be impatient. That's a big thing. Patience is everything with growing, because don't be going to cut it early. Don't be cutting it too late. It's got to be perfect. Just take your time, and everything will work. All right. But we got an hour in, Don, so we're gonna have to wrap it up, man. I appreciate everybody that came out. If there's any more questions, send them, folks. Otherwise, we are going to go start talking about our next show. All right. I think that's about it. Aaron, we're watching you, man. We're looking for those pictures.
Aaron. And thanks again, Scotty. But Aaron, I want to see those pictures, brother. I really do.
Hell yeah. All right. Don, hang out for a minute. All right, guys, we're going to see you Thursday. Don't know what's on tap just yet. I will inform you guys. Thank you for showing up. And guys, happy growing, huh? All right. Let me get over here because I'm always behind on this shit. I'm sorry. Anyway, happy growing, y'all.